So it is the early hours of the 12th of January 2019, and I'm in a very nice hotel in Shanghai. In the Pudong district. Um, Very nice room, check it out. Very comfortable, very cozy, and not the level of grandeur that can make one feel even a slight bit uneasy. Just comfortable. Anyway, this wasn't really a planned video, but why not? I should be sleeping really, but I'll make this quick. Just watched an interesting video by the channel Rummy's Corner. I've become a fan of his of late. I think he's a very good boxing analyst. He has very appealing style, very comprehensive, very balanced, very professional. You know, he doesn't talk the way a lot of boxing analysts talk. I mean, this guy could be a professional commentator, I believe. Anyway, he was talking about the current picture of the heavyweight division. This video, to be fair, it obviously predates the Fury Wilder fight, but it is about the current heavyweight landscape. Now, if we look at heavyweight boxing, I would argue that there was in the past two sort of golden eras, which were the 1970s and the 1990s, where you had a lot of big names on the go at the same time. So the 1970s, of course, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, probably I'd include Larry Holmes and Ken Norton. Then in the 1990s, you had Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, and actually George Foreman as well. So then, if we come to the modern era, what happened was the Klitschko brothers dominated for a decade, and that's why there was a so-called decline of the heavyweight division. I don't think it's necessarily the division declined. I think it's just that when you had two brothers dominating it for 2 decades, i.e., the 2000s and most of the 2010s, then it did create a situation that was a little bit boring. And that's not to take anything away from the greatness of either Klitschko. It's just they were never going to fight. So now that both Klitschkos are retired, Vladimir is essentially, I don't think he's going to seriously get into the game again. You have three heavyweights: Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and I think those three guys have the potential to really open up this division again. I would argue it already has done so. I think the Joshua Klitschko fight was one of the best heavyweight fights ever. Now, of course, Fury beat Klitschko before that. I don't think, as a fight, that was as great. I think Fury's achievement was profound, and that has to go down as a major upset, almost of the caliber of Douglas Tyson. Maybe not quite on that level, but pretty high up there. But the reason I think the Fury Klitschko fight doesn't get as much attention is simply because Vladimir was not Vladimir on that night. Now that might sound like making excuses, and maybe it is, but I think that Vladimir was a lot more in the Joshua fight, so it was a much more exciting fight. But that's not to take anything away from Fury. He beat one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I mean, without question, the greatest heavyweight of the last generation. So the current picture I think is very interesting. Now, if I was to add names to that list, like I say, we have Joshua, Fury, and Wilder. I haven't seen the Fury Wilder fight in full. I hope someone uploads that at some point. But if I was to add names to that, I wouldn't rule out Joseph Parker. I think he's a capable talent. Jarrell Miller. These are guys who. Luis Ortiz, I think, has a lot of skill, but he's getting a bit older. But those would be probably the three other guys: Ortiz, Parker, and Miller. Um, So I think once again we're about to see a golden era, another golden era of the heavyweights, the 1970s, the 1990s, maybe the 2020s, or let's say the late 2010s, early 2020s. Time will tell, but I think it's an interesting era.